Amen. What it is, this is Dean, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. Y'all already know the Cash App, $Dean by any means. Y'all know the PayPal, @Dean by any means. You see that heart with the $? That's the super chat. You can press that at any time your heart desires. Please say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. They both free. Right again. Shout out to my guy, Cam J Network. Again, shout out to my guy, Cam J Network, and my guy, Thomas Hill. But if you haven't liked, shared, and subscribed to my guy, Cam J Network, just started his YouTube channel. Go over there, like, subscribe, because he gave me some great information. And my brothers is out there from Ohio. You know what I'm saying? You know, neighboring states and stuff like that. Yeah. Floyd Schofield, Aunty Scho, got caught out here lying again. And so did Junior. I'm going to start with Junior first. Junior said that him and Abdullah-Mason sparred for 4 rounds. We come to find out that's not true. He took him out after 1 round, and it makes sense from everything that we was hearing and talking about. And I haven't known Abdullah-Mason to be a liar yet. And Abdullah-Mason confirmed that to me. And my guy, Thomas Hill, confirmed that to me as well. He got his own inside sources. So that's one lie, Junior. I don't know why you sat up there and said y'all did 4 or 5 rounds and all of that stuff. People ain't corroborating that story. That's not what's happening out here. And from y'all track record with you and your dad and all that, I'm going to choose to believe Abdullah-Mason and them side of this story. Because I saw the sparring. Y'all already lied about saying how much you beat the boy up. And your daddy saying that you ran through him and all of this stuff. And it was so bad that he told you just to work on defense. That's what your dad said. Cool. There was one part of there when he said, and nobody questioned it or even made a video about it, really. He said, we already beat Abdullah and them. We already beat the Masons and them and the amateurs. And then right after that, he connected it to Abdullah. Yeah, Abdullah is a great fighter, but he just running into the greatest boxer of all time. That's what he said. Then this is why you let people talk that like to talk. Because you get to see how full of ish they are. Problem with that is people did their homework. Ohio, people from Ohio already knew that part wasn't true. But if you're not from Ohio and going to do a deep dive into the amateur career and all that, you would just take it on face value. Comes to find out that Kid Austin did beat a Mason. But it wasn't Abdullah that he beat in the amateurs. Lord have mercy. So not only did you lie about what happened in the sparring, you lied about the 4 rounds in the sparring. You lied about how well Kid Austin did in the sparring. Then you lied and actually tried to connect that as if you beat Abdullah already from the amateurs. Come to find out that it wasn't even Abdullah, it was his older brother. What you gonna say, Aunty Scho, you was confused? We might believe that because you sound confused about a lot of stuff like hypnotizing your son and people poisoning you and all of this other stuff. The reason why I'm making this video to show you people credibility. So much so that even Kid Austin said, don't listen to my dad as far as the money stuff. Even he's putting your credibility at stake. Even he put your credibility, not even knowing it, to question. Because he said don't listen to you either when it comes to the money. So Kid Austin, I asked, should I not listen to him about the other stuff too, though? Just a question. And this is why you let people say the stuff that they're going to say, do the stuff that they're going to do, and just do your homework. And shout out to manager Marty. If he has not taught us anything else about boxing, he has taught us to do our homework. Auntie Scho, you said you was going to sue me. You ain't did that either. Again, you said you was going to sue me, but ain't do that either. Yeah, your whole credibility is put into question. I don't care what nobody say. I will not believe nothing Auntie Scho says. I need to see proof. Because I know, if anything else you didn't lie about, I know you know that your son didn't fight Abdullah Mason in the amateurs. I know you know that. And I know that you know you was lying when you said it. And now since people bringing out all these receipts, now you want to act like people clout chasing off of you. How could that possibly be true when we're only talking about this because you brought it up? Nobody asked you. Nobody said for you to say this stuff. Oh, yeah, my son beat Abdullah Mason up. Yeah, he beat him in sparring. Nobody asked you to say none of that stuff. You volunteered that information. And then you want to sit up here and play victim when people bring the receipts up and that didn't happen. A typical female. That's why we call them Auntie Scho. That's exactly what females do. That's the same exact card they play. You can't name another fighter that has been schooled in the 5 styles of boxing. You can't name one other fighter that's been schooled in the 5 styles of boxing. And if you think that anything that I say or how I say stuff is even remotely like homosexual, then you don't know what you're looking at. Y'all understand why I be on these people's helmets so much? You understand why I gotta make the content that I make? Because if Abdullah wouldn't have put the sparring out, if it wasn't for people like Thomas Hill and Cam J, that gave us the facts and other things to speak on, he would have ran with this. And we would have believed him because we wouldn't have had no other reason to say that he was lying. And y'all, I'm asking you, out of everything he said, do you think that he forgot who his son was in the ring with when it was an actual sanctioned amateur fight? That you have to prepare for your opponent. You know who you are about to fight. Do y'all believe that? And then to come to find out on this, yeah, he did spar other people in the Mason family, but it wasn't Abdullah. That's the people he got out on. That what we saw from Abdullah Mason and Floyd Schofield, that's what we saw. That's what it was between them two. Nothing else. But if it wasn't for people like Cam J, Thomas Hill, that told me, hey, yo, Deem, I know for sure, I know for a fact that didn't happen like that. And how you know it's true, because Auntie Scho ain't coming out here addressing it. Auntie Scho ain't coming out here saying it's not true. He's just trying to deflect. And that's what aunties do. So your son studied the 5 styles of boxing. But did he study the 5 styles of being real? About being a man of your word? About meaning what you say? About not lying? All the lies y'all told about Shakurstevenson. Only lie that I don't think that y'all told is that your son was sick, and I got reasons to believe that behind the scenes. Besides that, though, I don't believe he was poisoned I don't believe nothing you said happened. The poisoning and all of this, drugs planted in the car, I don't believe none of that at all. I don't. Right again, y'all. Do y'all understand why my slogan is I let people talk that like to talk? Because you get to see how full of ish they are. That saying doesn't ring truer than this video. Now, he going to try to act and play victim about stuff that he was bringing out there. And then when people was asking him to stop doing that, he didn't want to do it. He continued to go with it. Then when he get proven wrong, what does he do? Deflect and act like people attacking him. I can't stand somebody like that, yo. I really can't stand people like that. Nothing infuriates me more. The poodle that's barking at the pit bull cage, the pit bull in there ain't bothering nobody. The poodle keep rawr, rawr, rawr. Then the pit bull grab his little butt. Then everybody act like the pit bull got to get put down. Hate that. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Game, by, any means. And I holla at y'all Earthmen, man. Y'all take care.